Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very, very special and exclusive live Q&A for Prime Video 4. I'm so excited to say this. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power from San Diego Comic-Con. Woo! Yes, I didn't even have to tell you guys to cheer. You were so ready for it. You were ready. I'm Tiffany Smith, and thank you guys all so much for joining us on Twitch, on IMDb, on Amazon Live as well. Now, I'm excited to be here as a fan, me and my Elvish tattoo. Yes, I'm that big of a Lord of the Rings fan. But I'm going to introduce the cast that we've got here so we can get into some questions and find out some good stuff about the show. Does that sound good? Yeah. Yes. All right. So we are being joined by Ismael, Naz, Tyro, Markella, Megan, Daniel, Dylan, and Sarah. This is just a part of the cast, you guys, and they are epic. I'm so happy to be here. First, I have to say a big congratulations because we all just came back from the Hall H panel. So being a fan myself, I was completely blown away. I will not lie. I definitely teared up a couple of times. It was epic. How did that feel for all of you guys getting to be in Hall H for this panel today?
Dill?
I actually found it really moving. I've never been anywhere where you see that much sort of affection and goodwill offered before anybody's even seen anything. So I thought it was really touching. Feel very grateful they all showed up.
Well, and I was talking with you before, Ismael, and you were saying none of you guys have been to Comic-Con before. This is your first time at Comic-Con as well.
Yep, first time. Amazing.
I mean, you guys set the bar is like up here for your first Comic-Con.
That's what I said. I was like, we were talking about outfits and stuff like that. Sarah, myself, and a bunch of us. I was like, just wear something that makes you feel like a rock star, because I think we're kind of reaching an apex, you know?
Yeah.
And we felt that way.
It's so true. It's an awesome place to be, to get to show this content. Obviously, everybody here that was in that room are fans, and Stephen Colbert moderated, and it was a packed house.
Incredible.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. It's Stephen Colbert. Absolutely. I think that it's just that. I mean, I felt so, it was a very surreal moment, I think, for all of us. And that's all I have to say. I keep forgetting that we have to use the mic.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
You'll get used to it.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
Speaking of epic and surreal moments, there was a San Diego Comic-Con trailer that was revealed in Hall H. I know that everyone is going to be watching it many, many times. It was debuted online as well. If you want to see it again, I feel like maybe we could play it here now for everybody. Does that sound good? You guys can watch it again too?
Oh, wow. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's roll it.
Are we watching it on the TV?
I think that we can, yeah.
Nous pensions que la bataille était désormais derrière nous.
Aujourd'hui, la paix se profile.
Nous pensions que nos joies jamais ne finiraient. Nous pensions que notre lumière jamais ne s'éteindrait.
Le ciel est étrange.
Galadriel, fille de Finarfin. Le moment tant redouté.
Le mal ne dort jamais. Il patiente.
Dans les profondeurs, la pénombre peut tous nous engloutir sous la montagne.
Notre ennemi a bien des noms.
Tu as entendu parler de lui? Tu connais le nom de Sauron?
Si le mal qui s'élève en terre du milieu n'est pas maîtrisé, il va se répandre et tous nous anéantir.
Trouve la lumière, et jamais l'ombre ne te trouvera. Ensemble, nous pouvons gagner!
Combattez avec moi.
Chacun d'entre nous
se doit de décider quel chemin il devra emprunter.
Il ne peut y avoir de confiance entre un marteau et une pierre. Un beau jour, l'un ou l'autre en viendra à se briser.
On vous a conté tant de mensonges sur la terre du milieu.
That never gets old.
It's like watching it in Hall H and then seeing it again. I know that fans online are going to be picking apart every single moment, every single frame, every single line. Were there any moments watching it this time where you guys are like blown away just getting to see it come together like that?
All of it. All of it. There are so many moments that are like, I think especially like with the music as well, just like all of there's so many punches. And it's just so exciting. And yeah, I mean, there's so many more in the show as well. So it's going to be cool to see everything come together.
Just a little taste of it. And one of the lines that really stood out, Naz, you get to say in this trailer, "Find the light and the shadow will not find you."
Yeah.
That is such an incredibly powerful line. I know you can't probably say too much, but can you tell us a little bit about what that might mean and tell us about your character?
I can't say too much, but I can say that I play the mother of this incredible young man. In the show, he plays Theo. And he is somewhat of a rebellious teenager. And I am also a healer and in a forbidden romance with the wonderful Ismael Cruz Cordova. Well, his character, Aaron Dier.
I think we got it.
But
Very nice. Very nice.
But yes, the line is basically, I used to tell him this as a child as a way to comfort him and help him find the light. And this moment that you see in the trailer is one where I'm trying to get him to sort of summon up the courage to look evil in the eye.
I love that. And speaking of being a little bit rebellious, we'll toss a question over to you, Tyro. Talk to me about getting cast for this project, because it's seeing you talk at Hall H, I was like, I love him because I feel like you're just so off the cuff and you're talking from your heart. So tell us a little bit about the casting process for you.
Oh, it was crazy. It was long. I said this in the hall. Like, it was just such an honor to be like even considered for the role. Like I was bouncing off the walls just because they saw my face and was like, he's cool. I was like, yeah, what? That's crazy. Like, you know, they noticed me. That was cool. But to have like the actual role is like so surreal and like crazy, especially like considering, you know, where I've come from and what I've done before this. You know, I'm very blessed and very grateful. There's a pretty funny story. So, you know, growing up, didn't have too much money. So, you know, I asked my mum, you know, this is 2019. I asked my mum, "Hey, Ma, can I get this pair of shoes?" And she goes, "You know what? Just hold that thought." And I was like, "Okay." You know, wait a few weeks, and I say, "Mum, can I please get this pair of shoes? I really, really want these pair of shoes." And she says, "You know what? If you get this role, you can have 3 pairs of shoes." And that's when I knew she didn't believe in me. So I was like, you know what? Listen, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to get this role. And I went and did it. And I remember the day I got told that I got the role, I was actually on the train on the way to school. And I was with all my mates, and my mum sends through the message. She's like, "Congrats, buddy, you got the role." And like I look at the message and I'm like, like I'm freaking out. But obviously this is like one of the most top secret things the world has ever seen. So like, you know, I have to like keep it down. So I'm just like smiling to myself, and my mate's like, what's up with you? Why are you so smiling? I was like, "Oh, nothing, just got another role for a little film or something, you know." And then I was like, by the way, if I was to get 3 pairs of shoes, what shoes should I get? So I you know, sat with my mate on the bus and on the train for like 20 minutes, like deciding exactly what pairs I was gonna get. And I sent those photos straight to Mum, and she stuck to her word. I've got every single pair of those.
Listen, I think it meant that she did believe in you, because she's like, if he gets this job, these shoes will be fine. He can wear them on set. He's going to need some new shoes to go there anyway. So she totally believed in you.
Hey, let's be honest, Tara.
Yeah,
definitely
she did. I love that story.
Love my mom. Shout out, mom. Love you.
We love you. We love you, Rachel.
Ismail, we'll hop over here while you're watching that trailer. There was a couple moments where you're like, I could see you geeking out about getting to see yourself doing some of the stunts and stuff. You look incredible in what we've seen so far. Talk to us about the training process.
The training process was, crucial, pivotal for my role. It was at the center of it. He's a character that traverses and has quite the journey and a movement through the whole series. And for me, it was very important since we were creating something new to honor that and honor that opportunity and honor the opportunity also as, you can see here, it's a very diverse cast and a lot of us are firsts, so I took that to heart. I wanted to bring a little bit, a lot of myself, and of my upbringing and also my heritage. My love for dance, all that stuff. So we put a bunch of martial arts together, gelled it with Afro-Brazilian martial arts and created the original style. Many, 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 many hours.
I love it. I know there's going to be people who are like in my neighborhood during the pandemic. There were sword fighting classes outside, so I can't wait to see classes teaching your Elvish style of fighting because I know they're going to happen.
Like an out on there aerobics kind of thing.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Can I just say, he did really work so hard.
We never saw him.
Even the what you see on screen is in the trailer is honestly such a teaser. He was so committed. He was always in the stunt gym.
Yeah.
Always.
I would ask him to dinner and he's like, I'm sorry, baby, I'm just really, really tired.
Yeah.
He was exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah. Just so brilliant. Yeah.
And that just made you all feel that much more excited about the roles that you booked, right?
In fairness, I think everybody worked super hard. Yeah. But this one, the stunts, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And speaking of the two of you guys hopping in here, Markella and Megan, can you guys talk to us a little bit about playing Harfoots and what can you tell us about them? That's it right there. Right. I feel like that's the energy.
That's my answer. What can I say? Well, I guess so. Yeah, we play Harfoots. I play Nori, and she's a very resolute, inquisitive, curious Harfoot, and she kind of leads with the idea that a fear of risk can be greater than the risk itself, and sometimes you just need to take it. And she, she's a risk taker. She wants to believe that you can find solutions through risk taking, and she's an empath. She's playful. She's very frustrating for a lot of people, for a lot of beings, and her family. But ultimately, she leads with love, and she just wants everyone to do the same. She wants to subvert Harfoot tradition.
And I play Poppy Proudfellow, who is best friends with Nori. They're definitely the yin to each other's yang, I think. So yeah, Poppy is definitely more cautious of the two and sort of tries to rein Nori in. So yeah, if, Nori wants to go and do something, Poppy's kind of like, no, I don't think you should do that. And then Nori does it anyway. And then Poppy goes along with her. And then that's like the series, I think.
5 seasons.
Yeah.
Just told you what's that.
But the Harfoots we are like a migratory community. We have these carts that are their homes. Which, like the crew built such an incredible set. And we literally carried them. So they carry their homes on their backs. Yeah. There's a lot of, they're survivors. And there's a lot of sort of depth and dark qualities within them that they've had to hold because they live in the wild and they migrate through the seasons, so they have to constantly be looking over their shoulders. But with that, there is also so much joy and song and dance and celebration and trust.
Trust. They have to trust each other. It's like a wheel of home. If someone leaves the wheel, it'll fall flat, and that's what they're constantly kind of battling with. And Sarah and Dylan can speak to that as well.
Yeah, well, I was going to jump over to you, Dylan, to talk a little bit about just the filming process, because how did you guys shoot stuff where it's, there's smaller people in this big world? Talk a little bit about what that was like on set for you guys.
I think that was the part I was most excited about, was just sort of how do you do this? And wonderfully, they said we're going back to the original 3 films and we're going to try to do it all in camera with as many little tricks. The Harfoots love blackberries. So the blackberries we ate were sort of the size of my fist to make us look small.
Yeah.
And my big thing, I think, because I was one of the bigger Harfoot, so they gave me a giant rabbit.
Also, thank you for telling us what the plural.
I think it's Harfoot.
The plural's actually Harfoot.
It's Harfoot.
Harfoot is.
The women, you know, we could see all of us just going, yeah.
I felt it. I was like, Dale, you got that wrong. You got that wrong.
That's family. That's family.
This is life imitating art. I'm not sure where we're at anymore with it. But yeah, they gave me a giant rabbit, which is a breed of rabbit that comes from, I think, Netherlands maybe. And it was a giant rabbit, like giant, terrifying rabbit. Makes you think, it looks at you very hungrily and you think you could actually eat my head in weight in food every second of the day. So anyway, once I got over the sheer fear of it, I started to, and I couldn't understand it because I was like, why do I have a giant rabbit?
Oh, I was like, I couldn't understand it. I was like, you couldn't understand the rabbit?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, not the brightest Harfoot, really. But yeah, it was through lots of tricks like that. You know, big. Any of the other ones? Can you think of?
But I was actually also thinking about the carts, because the carts, they did some tricks with the carts. And so there were different sizes of carts, for example. Mm-hmm. But they were so intricate and so beautifully made. Like inside the carts were our homes. Like they had all this stuff. But sometimes we had to pull these carts. And I remember one particular day, I won't say what was said on the day, but pulling a cart up a hill in the South Island. And to put it, like, to say there was some swearing is to put it mildly, because it was a day where, do you remember that? We just had to run up this hill.
I'll never forget.
Oh my goodness. But it looks incredible because it's all real. It's not CGI, it's not green screen. Yeah. We're really doing it. And it was incredible, such a gift that they did that for us as actors, tried as much as possible to make it practical. Yeah. And things that we actually tangibly had to work with. Yeah. It was just gold. And they did become our homes. And we got very strong too.
Yeah. And honestly, like, those are the moments, like, being a Lord of the Rings fan, I watched the extended editions, I watched all the end credit stuff, the extra stuff where it's the funny moments where people go kind of out of character, or you get to see what it was actually like. Those are the moments where everyone watches it back and they're like, that scene where they were pulling the wagons, you remember they were cursing? Like, that's what the fans are going to want to see and eat up. So thank you for sharing that little tidbit. I'm going to go to someone who I don't think can share too many tidbits with us, but I'm going to try. Daniel, your character is very mysterious. There are a lot of theories online. What can you tell us about the stranger?
What's online? Tell me what you've heard.
I mean, I'm not going to say any of the theories.
Okay, fine.
I'll leave that to you.
The character was really enjoyable to play. I had everything that I needed, every day to feel like I could truthfully try and play the character. But you're right. There's a whole heap of mystery, and I think JD and Patrick have written these scripts and this season 1 with such an expert hand. They've created this sort of masterpiece of storytelling, whereby for this character in particular, everybody's going to have to watch to learn what happens. Who he is, where he's, what he's bringing to the table, what his intentions are. I mean, I can tell you that I think I felt that I was able to play. He had a really deep source of purpose. That was the thing that I was able to follow. There's something very sort of primal in him that is a need that he follows, and I think that was the building block for me. It was really enjoyable to play. I don't know how enjoyable it was to act with for these guys, but I must say that I got the chance to watch a lot of this team Harfoot work, and it was one of the biggest privileges, to watch these guys work. It was really sensational. I only wish that I was able to see more. We weren't really able to cross over into other people's storylines, but I would have loved to have come on set and watch you guys more.
I think we did.
We managed it once. I managed it about once.
You were also generous, and we were able to actually go in and see some of the actors on set, and the showrunners were able to. And that was quite amazing, actually, to be able to visit your the set that
I
you
saw a
were
great
on.
scene between you two.
Yeah, I wasn't. I snuck into almost every set. Nah, after finishing the show, now they're gonna have an eye on me. But I would just turn my badge, put on a mask, put the thing down, and just kind of like sneak in with everybody else, and always be dodging the showrunners. Yeah. But I managed to see like 90% sorry security.
Here's the thing I will say, it's like seeing you guys in Hall H and then coming back up and just seeing you guys all together, and there's like 22 here, but seeing you guys all together, the energy that there is, like, that makes total sense. And I love it because it feels like it's a supportive family, even though, Daniel, maybe you couldn't tell everybody everything, but you're still part of that family too.
But by the way, we were guessing, like, we were like, who is he?
I still
is he
don't
this?
know who
Is
he
he
is.
this character? Is he that character? And I feel like as much as I was in awe of Ismail with his stunts and his, like, the physicality and the exhaustion, I was in awe of the fact that he had like very few words to say, and he had to emote everything through his eyes. So like, the challenges, I'm like observing my colleagues going, wow, that's just, everybody brought such skill and passion to the table. Yeah. I'm really impressed and blown.
You see the show, it's even more impressive.
There was a day I remember watching him work, and he didn't have any words to say, which is so difficult. And I was bawling by the end of a particular scene because Actually, I'm going to get teary right now, so I'll stop. But yeah, I mean, incredible. Yeah,
literally. Daniel.
Come on.
It was amazing.
I love
also,
this.
but I think what you just said is everyone brought so much to their characters. Like watching, Actually, you know what?
I should stop myself. I have a problem.
We did this show. We did this show through one of the hardest times of everyone's lives and in the world, and we were put in these circumstances. We were in New Zealand for over a year, and to come together, we became a family almost instantly. There were roles, there were familial relationships, all these things, and I think you can see that on screen. You see the heart. This became more than a job. Yeah. This became our way of life. This became our respite. And we knew that we were so fortunate to be in a circumstance where most people were inside their homes, not being able to work. And in our industry was pretty much shut down. And at one point we were the only show that was running. And each and every single cast member poured their souls into this gratitude. And you will see that shine through.
I love that so much.
And also, I mean, I felt like New Zealand took care of us. Like the country, the people in the country, the crew, everybody sort of took this show in the palm of their hand, and they looked after us, they cared for us, and they poured all sorts of energy and inspiration into it. And I think you see that all on the screen,
And I think it's, it's one of those things where the material that you guys are working from is so loved, and there's so much story and detail in it, and part of that is family and coming together. Sarah, because I know that you are also a huge nerd too. What do you think it is about Tolkien and these stories that are so relevant and that just last so long and people still connect with them so much now?
Well, I think it's what we're talking about right now. I mean, people talk a lot about Tolkien's the writing of the history and the Elvish language and the world building, all of which is incredible. But I think what ultimately is relatable about him and his works, even today, is exactly this: the friendship, the loyalty, the fighting to do right against all odds, the fighting against oneself. And I think, especially now, but for each and every one of us who's watching now, that we all have those struggles, we all have those battles, and we have friends that we can turn to, hopefully, in those times. And he has just such a wonderful lyrical way of addressing all those issues and bringing them to life. And I think that is so what you'll see in our show, especially because of what we experienced as a cast, but also our writers, our set directors, our designers, our costumers, the music, the whole thing. I think that, it is something that is universal in his work, and that's what it is for me.
Well, and kind of jumping into, we were talking about on the way here, we were talking about how excited you were to be at Comic-Con. It's an awesome experience to be here. One last quick question for you guys, because I know you have so much other stuff to do, but I'm still going to get this last one in. What do you guys want audiences to see, or what can they expect when the show premieres on September 2nd? If you want to just run down the line and do one word each.
One word.
I'm going to start off with a battle between dark and light.
I said...
Couple words, but fine.
Hyphenated.
Apparently you don't get a lot on the show, so you can have them here.
I was just gonna say that it was sick, but that's a bit.
That works.
Hope.
I like it.
Loyalty.
A lot of this face.
Yeah. I like it.
Unity.
I was going to say the fragility of the heart, preserving the fragility of the heart.
He had time to think of that answer.
Wonder.
Amazing.
It's exciting. You're going to see
So
like
exciting.
themes. I'm just so excited for people to see that. I don't know. I feel like with fantasy, sometimes we can forget that they're actually themes that we experience or that we encounter in our own lives. You know, love and, you know, triumph in the face of adversity and all of that. And to see that it's just set in a fantastical context. So maybe it's more accessible sometimes because you've got the visual, the visuals and the music and the soundtrack. But ultimately, it's relatable because it's just as you so articulately said, it's just our lives.
Well, I could sit here and talk with you guys for hours, but they're telling me that you guys have so many other places to be at Comic-Con. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Thank you guys all for watching live with us.
Thank you.
And make sure you tune into Prime Video on September 2nd for the premiere of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. And I feel like we're going to take it out with you guys getting to watch the trailer one more time. Check it out. Thank you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Nous pensions que la bataille était désormais derrière nous.
Aujourd'hui, la paix se profile.
Nous pensions que nos joies jamais ne finiraient. Nous pensions que notre lumière jamais ne s'éteindrait.
Le ciel est étrange.
Galadriel, fille de Finarfin. Le moment tant redouté.
Le mal ne dort jamais. Il patiente.
Dans les profondeurs, la pénombre peut tous nous engloutir sous la montagne.
Notre ennemi a bien des noms.
Tu as entendu parler de lui? Tu connais le nom de Sauron?
Si le mal qui s'élève en terre du milieu n'est pas maîtrisé, il va se répandre et tous nous anéantir.
Trouve la lumière, et jamais l'ombre ne te trouvera.
Ensemble, nous pouvons gagner!
Combattez avec moi.
Chacun d'entre nous se doit de décider quel chemin il devra emprunter.
Il ne peut y avoir de confiance entre un marteau et une pierre. Un beau jour, l'un ou l'autre, on viendra à se briser.
On vous a conté tant de mensonges sur la terre du milieu.